May is over, it's June now, and we still don't have Jackboys 2. By this time, we thought that we would for sure have the record, just by the quantity of hints that we've gotten and the fact that it all made sense when looking at the rollout. But obviously there's no need to lose hope because there is some new news on Jackboys 2 that we're going to be going over today, so let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. You can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So as I said, we thought that we would have the new record by this time, by June. We don't obviously have the record. We also don't have a release date, but there are a couple of things that point towards the fact that this might not be too far around the corner. First of all, remember Kick Out the song that we've heard in the trailer for Jackboys 2, the OG trailer that we discussed a while back? First of all, the trailer is now also pinned on Travis's Instagram profile. This wasn't the case before. This doesn't have to mean anything, but at least he's aware that the trailer exists and that there is an album that should be coming out. But also, Don Toliver performed Kick Out at one of his recent shows. And this obviously has a Travis feature. This is for Jackboys, so he's already performing some songs off of the record that fans know are going to be on there, which is a pretty good sign that, you know, they're working on it. They're at least acknowledging that this exists, and he's performing this as kind of a hint or kind of a teaser for fans to get hyped up about it, and to hear it performed live is also pretty cool. So I think that's a pretty good thing that we've gotten this live performance from Kick Out at this point. Now, also concerning the vinyls, because obviously you could pre-order Jackboys 2 and the vinyl on the website with the merch. We went over this in detail, and it's always a big discussion about what time frame is the pre-order, when does it have to be shipped, when do vinyls count into the sales of the record, which is what artists obviously want. And while they haven't finally shipped, it's not like official that they've shipped, which would mean that the record is coming pretty soon over the next 1, 2, 3 weeks, because the date that they arrive, that they ship out, would also be the week that they count as sales, which is what the artist obviously wants. And we know that Travis is someone that really wants this. He's someone that plays this game of having the vinyls count as first week sales very heavily. So we know that he definitely wants to do this with Jackboys 2 as well. But we do have some updates from the shipment processors that they're getting ready to get shipped out, which is kind of a stage before getting shipped out, but at least it's something. At least we see that there's some sort of motion, some sort of development going on with these shipments, which, you know, obviously is better than nothing. It's better than just the pre-orders existing with nothing behind them backing any sort of shipment or any sort of tracking for them. Now, regardless of all the logistics behind the pre-orders and behind the vinyl shipments, and that's the whole thing that I've seen a lot of you also discuss in the comments. It's a big thing because nobody really knows what's going on. We've also gotten some new snippets, for example, from Fago, who we know at this point might actually be up next after 20 years. But, you know, Travis actually reposted and we know that he's kind of getting into the official Cactus Jack crew, and that he's also going to be featured on the record just from the names that we've seen on the website. He also posted a new snippet on his story, which you can take a listen to here. But then we also had this other material clip appear where we've gotten 6 new snippets from him. So here's a listen to that. Enjoy the snippets.
You know what I do, I'ma hit it before I wreck it. I done been lifting my shoes, I'm checking it back, I'll be back in a couple days. Okay, I'm high as you high. I gotta get on the fire. Gotta be real on my side. I put up my ice and my eyes too wide. I'm the damn like the guy. You live with all these brides. You ain't do right by my side. I cannot hold your hand, baby, I tried. Can't hear you now. I was outside trying to go beast, trying to go house. I put them bands in her, now she on feet. She ain't even living it down. No, I can never get lost in the street. I know my way around. I know that I put on my bitch and go out, call it a plan.
So those sound pretty good. We don't know if they are for Jackboys 2 or if they are for a solo record that could also be coming out anytime soon. We know that there's still the solo records that are coming out. We had Check West. We still have the Travis solo record. Don Toliver might also be around the corner, Fago as well. So some stuff could definitely be coming out soon. Maybe a part of all of these, a part of the 6 snippets, could also be for the collab record. So let's keep our hopes up that some of that is on there. At least we can tell which sound Fago is now kind of directed in. Now, one thing that we haven't discussed when talking about at least the solo record, the Travis solo record, is the Circus Maximus tour, which, at least to me, I thought it was over. I thought after the Qatar show on May 16th that was kind of finished and that we were now ready to move into the new era, which then would be Mirage or whatever the next solo record would be called. But there is actually a Africa and Asia leg of the tour still coming up in October and November. So we might not be getting a solo record until after that, which isn't too much of a surprise because we thought that this year would be the Cactus Jack record, Jackboys 2, and then next year could be the year for a solo release, so it's not like we didn't know about it. But I mean, this kind of proves it, because why would you go on the Circus Maximus tour, which is connected to Utopia, if you dropped a new record that would then really not fit into all of that, neither musically nor aesthetically, visually? So I think it's pretty safe to say that there's no Travis record, solo record at least, coming this year, which is kind of sad, but let's keep this positive. You know, we do have Jackboys 2 coming out this year, so next year I'm all good with that. And then also would just be 3 years in between Utopia and then the next solo record, which is definitely okay. Now, as of recently, we also had a Burna Boy track, Ta Ta Ta, with Travis as a feature that was kind of the latest release. I just mentioned it because that's the latest that we've heard from any of them, because we do have the live performance of Kick Out from Dawn, we do have the snippets for Fago, but no official release from any of the members. This is the latest one we've gotten. It's okay. It's not the best feature. You know, at some point he really needs to slow down with the features, because at some point it's really more quantity over quality, and it doesn't get better with more quantity. Now, if you haven't been living under a rock, you also know that he's been teasing some stuff like Dumb, the snippet that we've heard, also at Rolling Loud, for example, on his Instagram, his posts as well.
New shit! I want everybody to follow my lead! Yeah, let's go, 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 yeah. Let's go. Ain't nobody fucking like I do. Do it drunk like I do. Better get it 7 like.
So it's also looking pretty good that stuff like that is coming, and all of this obviously ties in with this entire development, this entire chronology of the rollout. So we had snippets like Dumb that came out. We know that they are teasing this record, so I think it's safe to say that it's coming this summer. But obviously May was false, so now we're looking at June. When? We don't exactly know, but that's the latest news that we've gotten on Jackboys 2. Definitely on what y'all think about this. Do you think this is coming any of the coming weeks? Do you think this is the next couple of weeks, or do you think there's going to be a single until then? We still don't know if 4x4 or ILMB was any of the singles. This could just be kind of a cold drop like Jackboys 1 was. But definitely let me know all your thoughts on this in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.